Bloomberg Senate reporter Stephen Dennis joins us now from Capitol Hill. Stephen, great to have you on Quick Take. Thanks for taking the time today. The House Rules Committee debating right now a resolution on the 25th Amendment. What do you make of the president's comments this morning, given what's happening right now on Capitol Hill?
I think the president is trying to keep his troops, his Republicans, in line. He's been basically silent mostly for the past several days, as has the vice president, who hasn't said a word publicly since that night regarding the president and the president's actions. Trump saying that everyone thought his speech was appropriate is just not true. There were many Republicans who feel that the president incited the riot and incited the mob and encouraged them to go to the Capitol. And while he did say in his speech that they should go peacefully, he said a lot of other things, including that people needed to fight harder. And the other thing that has really angered a lot of Republicans on the Hill is that it took hours before the president actually called on the mob to leave the Capitol. And, during those hours, people were dying and a lot of damage was being done. So, you had senators like Susan Collins penning a column yesterday in the Bangor Daily News about what it was like to be huddled in a secure room, contacting and calling White House officials and trying to get the president to ask people to leave the building, and he wouldn't do it. So, we're going to see tonight the first vote on this 25th Amendment resolution. It's basically non-binding. It asks the vice president to join with the cabinet in removing Trump. That's not likely to happen. And then tomorrow or the next day, we would likely see an impeachment vote on the floor of the House. That's certain to pass. Almost every Democrat, if not every Democrat, is likely to vote for that. And the real question is whether Trump is able to keep his own troops, troops is probably not the right word here, but whether he can keep Republicans in line or whether he'll start seeing Republicans vote to impeach. There were no House Republicans that voted to impeach Trump last time, and only one Republican senator voted to convict him. But I think there's at least a chance that he loses some folks tomorrow and Thursday, and it's an open question whether there would be a Senate impeachment trial and when that might happen. That's all to be determined. The Speaker of the House has refused to say when she would send an impeachment to the Senate. Some people think it should wait months so that Joe Biden can come in with a clean slate and try and get some things done.
Yeah, get some COVID relief done before they get to impeaching President Trump. You mentioned Vice President Pence, and I think one thing that I was really surprised about in the wake of the attack at the Capitol last week was that the president did not speak reportedly to Mike Pence until yesterday. Stephen, what did we know about the meeting they had last night at the White House and the relationship that with one of President Trump's strongest allies up until now?
Yeah, there was clearly a breach, a major breach in their relationship in the past 10 days or so. Trump, in the days leading up to January 6th and on January 6th, was pouring the pressure on Mike Pence to unilaterally toss the election results so that he could stay in power for another 4 years. He tweeted about it. He made public comments about it. Pence had this power, which Pence made clear on January 6th that he did not have that power under the Constitution and that it would violate the Constitution for him to do so. And that, of course, caused Trump to be even more angry. And a lot of Trump's supporters who marched on the Capitol were chanting, "Hang Pence." There's a lot of video of that, and searching the building for him. So this is clearly a breach between the two men. it seems like it's still a breach. We still don't have a public statement from Mike Pence or a public statement from the president, sort of on their relationship. But yesterday, we were told by a senior administration official that they did meet, and that they agreed to continue working together for the rest of their term, which we, and I think everybody else, has sort of interpreted as Pence will not be using the 25th Amendment to remove Trump, et cetera.
And that term is 8 days remaining in that term. Bloomberg's Stephen Dennis on Capitol Hill. Stephen, thank you, as always, for your insight and your time. We really appreciate you joining us on Quick Take.